From a nursing and parental perspective, there is no universe where it is appropriate to apply any cosmetic change, nail polish, hair dye, anything to a child without parental consent.
Did you hear?
So, what would you do if you took your 3-year-old son to a daycare and they came back home later with their nails painted pink? Is there a problem to it? The school didn't call you that they want to paint their child's nail. They didn't do anything. What would you do? If you want to really know the full gist, you need to go watch the first video that I posted today. This is the reaction of it. People are talking about it and people are giving their 2 cents and trying to, analyze the whole thing. So let's watch people's reaction, then we'll come back and discuss.
About that daycare that painted a 3-year-old boy's nails pink? And when the grandma came to confront the owner started yelling and cussing at the grandma and threatened to call the cops if she didn't leave. The grandma goes up and says, "You don't have consent on file to paint my grandchild's nails pink." And she expresses how she's frustrated because you're going to confuse her grandchild by doing this activity. To which they go, "All the kids did this activity." And she says, "Well, my granddaughter didn't come home with painted nails and my grandson has pink nails now." To which they go, "So you're upset at the color, not the activity." And she says, "It could have been painted green. You don't have consent to paint my grandchild's nails at school." And as someone who's worked in early childhood education, why would you paint their nails? Why would you dye their hair? Why would you do things to their bodies that you don't have consent for? And painting a kid's nails, wanting to dye their hair, it's giving PDFer vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, that daycare needs to be investigated. Honestly, be so for real.
From a nursing and parental perspective, there is no universe where it is appropriate to apply any cosmetic change, nail polish, hair dye, anything to a child without parental consent. This isn't about gender. This isn't about aesthetics. This is about consent, boundaries, and the duty of care. In healthcare, touching a patient, even a child, without documented permission can result in assault allegations. In childcare, the same principle applies. The daycare staff crossed a clear line when they painted a 3-year-old boy's nails pink without the parent's knowledge. But then they doubled down when the grandmother showed up, not only refusing to explain, but yelling at her and later painting themselves as victims in their own video response. That is not how accountability works. If a concerned parent or grandparent asks what happened, the professional response is to de-escalate, apologize, and show humility, not hostility. And then publicly turning the situation around to make yourself the victim, that's PR malpractice, honey. So this isn't cancel culture. It's consequence culture. Parents trust you with their kids, not to make cosmetic decisions, but to keep them safe and respect boundaries. Any provider, daycare, or even healthcare who can't grasp that should not be in this line of work. So let me be very clear. If this happened in a pediatric clinic, we'd be facing potential board review. So why should daycares be held to a lower standard? Consent is not optional. Accountability is not persecution. And yelling at a grandmother, asking a valid question, that alone should tell you this daycare is unfit.
The owner and the staff are completely wrong. The parents did nothing wrong. Why is it that nails are being painted at a daycare facility? It's not even like they're painting artwork. You guys are painting the children's nails. And I don't care what policy states that you have to call the parents first to see if their child wants their nails painted, especially if it's a boy. That should not even be an option. So the parents have every right to be upset. I saw the daycare owner and the staff come online and make a post, which I'm going to hold your hands when I say this. You're wrong. You guys need to take accountability and take that foolishness out of your policy. Why are you painting children's nails at daycare? Why? And to think that you are going to come on social media, give a sorry-ass apology and give a sorry-ass explanation and think that people were going to be on your side, come again. Your staff is wrong. okay? And the policy that you guys have should be looked into by an inspector in the state, because who in their right mind is bringing nail polish to a daycare facility with children who use their hands and put their hands in their mouth all the time? We know nail polish as adults has toxic fumes. And after watching the video and looking at this clip that I inserted, the body language for both of the staff and the director completely gives, we don't care, we've done this before, we're going to get away with it. You guys need to do better.
Problem with a kid that went home with his nails painted, and there was a lot that was left out of the video before me, the owner, was pushed to a point of feeling like my staff was in danger, being an hour away.
Y'all don't get to play the victims in this situation, because why did you think it was okay for you to paint that 3-year-old boy's fingernails? And then when his grandmother came up there to have a conversation with you guys about it, you got upset at the grandmother. And what did you expect? For her to be okay with that after you got upset with her? You don't get to make that decision without a parent's consent. And for the people saying that, oh, it's just nail polish, you can wipe it off, that's not the point. The point is, that's not your kid. That's not your family. You don't get the right to do that. You allow the parents to make that decision. The owner of Adventure Kids, the one that was on the right, went on to say something in that video that caught my attention, that tells me everything I need to know about that woman. She went on to say that they usually give the family huge discounts in order to help them out. So because you decide to help these people out, you feel like you can do whatever you want to do with their son. That's weird.
That is confusion of a child. You do not have any consent form on file to paint his nails.
You to calm down right now. Your child was well.
And if I were you, I would stop yelling at me, because your facility is in very big trouble for this.
We are not in big trouble.
You do not have consent.
I ain't even gonna lie, the grandmama didn't start yelling till the daycare lady started yelling. Some people shouldn't be business owners. Point blank period. A complaint is a complaint. And this is a very valid one. They painted her grandson's nails pink. She has every right to be pissed at that. That causes confusion. Boys don't paint their nails pink. Sue me. And then the people in the comments, oh no, it's something you can wipe off in 3 seconds. So what? He was probably proud of her, made it feel whatever the hell. He's not even gonna, whatever the hell. Whatever the fuck. That's her grandson. The parent who was also pissed, that is her son. She is allowed to be upset that somebody did something to her child's body without her consent. This is only a issue because there's a war on masculinity. That is the only reason why people are in the comments defending it. In 2025, masculinity is now demonized. I'd be pissed too. I'd be pissed too if I picked up my son and he had pink nails. Definitely if I'm cut off by the director and she starts yelling at me. Like the director starts yelling at me because I'm mad because of what they did to my child. It's unprofessional. It was very unprofessional. Y'all raise y'all kids however the hell y'all want to, but you can't push your beliefs on other people's kids. I'd be mad even if they painted my daughter's nails. You didn't get permission to do that. But I'm even more mad that you did it to my son. Because 1, you didn't get permission to do that, and 2, he's a boy. What the hell is wrong with you?
Anybody else seen the video of the grandmom who walked into the daycare and cussed out of the damn daycare owner for painting her grandson's nails pink? I'm talking about the lady at the front desk was like, oh, let me get the owner on the line. The owner gets on the line and she is disrespectful. And the grandmom was like, why did my grandson come home with pink fingernail polish on his nails? And she was like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Everybody was doing an activity and we painted his nails. And if you want, you can bring him back up there and I'll take the fingernail polish. No, that is not the point. You are not going to groom my child or my grandson into emasculation. That is not going to happen. And I know people don't want to admit that that type of thing causes confusion, but even let's just negate that part. The fact that y'all are out here trying to implement your beliefs and inflict your own beliefs on someone else's children is just weird. When that lady sent her grandson to school, when her granddaughter or her daughter sent her grandson to school, it is not your place to say, oh, it's just an activity. What's the big deal? What are you? Are you homophobic? No, that ain't even the point. That ain't even the point. The point is I want my child to go to school and come back the same way I sent them. If they don't come back the same way I sent them, we got a problem. It's just the same thing as going to school and coming back with a busted lip or a black eye. What the doing there? They need to think of other activities that involves little boys that doesn't involve painting their fingernails. They're children at that age, and I don't know, what if he wanted his fingernails pink? He don't know. He don't know no better. He don't know. He is a child. He cannot consent to that. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate in the comments. I really don't give I don't. I'm sick and tired of the emasculation of our young boys and y'all trying to inflict your own adult beliefs on children. It's just weird. It's weird and it needs to stop.
If somebody can please tell me what location the daycare was of the woman who found out that they painted her 3-year-old son's nails pink. Because I just got done watching a video of a grandmother walking into the daycare asking for the staff. The director was there. The director got the owner on speakerphone, and this woman begins to explain to her that she did not have consent to paint her 3-year-old grandson's nails, whatever color, especially pink. And the owner of the facility started freaking out on this woman, calling her an asshole, calling the grandmother an asshole, literally gaslighting her to make it look like she was doing something wrong, because that owner knows that she is completely off her rocker with this, because in the state of Texas, from what this lady said, this is against the law. And you need to have a signed consent form to do something like this. The owner threatened to call the police on this woman, and the lady was like, no, ma'am, I'm already calling the police on you, and I've recorded this entire conversation, and I've recorded you calling me an asshole. So anyway, if anybody knows that location, can you please tag it in the comments, please?
The daycare painted a 3-year-old boy's fingernails pink. Pink? Now, I don't got no grandbabies yet, but I would have definitely been annoyed by this too. Because what do you mean? Daycares are supposed to have things in place. Consent. Yes, I want this. Here's the allergy. Here's the EpiPen. Here's the cubby. Not paint your kids' nails pink and then don't say anything. So this mom, it wasn't even a mom. It was the grandmother. She went in there very demure. She went inside the daycare and she said who she was. She asked for who the director was. The director happened to just come out, and the director was talking to the owner on the phone. So they're on speaker now. The owner's on speaker. And the grandmother's just saying like, hey, I don't appreciate it that you guys without consent painted my grandson's nails pink. What say you? The owner is like, oh my God, first of all, I don't even know what's going on. First of all, I'm learning what just happened. First of all, you need to calm down, stop screaming. Like, her retort was not professional to me. I would have turned up a little bit more, because like now we're speaking by phone. I didn't come in here to be rah-rah. I wanted to understand, what do you guys have in place? Who is the person, the workers that may not understand your rules and regulation that did this, and why was it done? Oh, there was activities going on and everybody got their nails painted. So she came in there and she said she had a granddaughter and a grandson. Granddaughter didn't have nails painted. So why my grandson got his nails painted? You cannot do that. That's grooming a child. You're giving him these perceptions and ideas that that's what it should be, could be. Let him decide when he can decide. Don't paint his nails pink. You know, some people might say, oh, it's free expression, blah, 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 but the parents don't like it. They don't like it. Don't do something that the parents don't like. They are paying you to house this kid. Instead, the owner is going off about how she doesn't want the grandmother to come back, and this is harassment, and this is that. She called the grandmother an asshole. Excuse my... But that wasn't even called for, because she expressed how she felt about her grandson coming home with pink nails. Now, what do you guys think about this? Because I think the grandmother is correct. The owner, she needs to go back and get some type of training, because this is not how you deal with the public. And this lady did not come. She was on the phone. She did not come to start a fight or an argument. Her voice was calm the whole entire time. This was not handled properly at all.
I just feel like you cannot, tell people how they are going to react when you kind of do something that is wrong. I feel like people should understand that if you do something wrong to someone, especially in this type of situation, you should not tell them how to react. A lot of person can react in a way. In fact, some people might take it so big, where some people are like, it's just a paint. Some people don't see it as anything. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Oh my God, it's nice. I like it. In fact, I've been thinking of painting my son's nail. Some people don't have a problem with it, but some people have a problem with it, and you should respect that as a school owner or as a school proprietor, whatever they are, right? They're supposed to respect that and be calm about it and all of that. But the fact that they went all outside calling the cops on her and calling her an asshole and all of that, that just speaks. And the video they made, you guys, if you've not watched that video, go and watch it. The video they made was really terrible. And you can see that they were just, giving we're gonna get away with it. It's not that deep, it's just the paint. There's something off about that video, especially one of them. The other one was still okay, but this the body language of the other one, I don't know. I'm just saying it's just giving I won't let you come to the school to talk to us anyhow just because we painted your child's this thing. I will give you guys discounts. So what is your problem? So I feel like if you want to paint a child's nail, especially a 3-year-old, even though you're doing an activity or a painting subject in the school at that point, you're supposed to ask. This is painting of nails. Even going to school normally with your nails painted, colored painted as a child, I don't think some school will accept you, right? So if you guys are doing an activity, you're supposed to let the parent know because all these things, not everybody that paints their nails. Some people religiously they can't paint their nails. So what if their religion doesn't accept painting of nails? What are you going to do? Right? So you cannot just because you're doing it for everybody or the child is excited. Every child is going to be excited. Because a child is excited on some things doesn't mean that it's right for the child to have it because your child is excited, oh my God, give me this, doesn't mean that it's good for them to have. A child can want to touch electricity, touch something that can be very dangerous to them, and they'll be excited to want to do it. Does that mean that we should give it to them? No. Before you do some things, before you draw some things on a child's skin, before you change their hair color, before you braid their hair, you're supposed to, before you even barb a child's hair, before you cut their hair, you're supposed to let the parent know and make sure you reach out to them and they reply you. It's not about you sending a message and they didn't get back to you. You're like, probably they've seen it. No, they must tell you, okay, go ahead. It's very important. I just feel like that is very important because you cannot just change a child's stuff just because. And yes, the pink paints, the blue paints, it doesn't matter, right? Anybody can have a favorite color, but because of the color pink is being associated to a girl, and they're kind of like, we don't want you to change our child's gender and all of that, or try to get into his head for him to change his gender, which is valid because you cannot force that on a family to do that to their child. Let the child decide what he wants. I mean, I'm kind of against you trying to change the child's gender. Like, let them grow up and be able to know what they want to do, fine. But you starting to start telling them, oh, you can either pick from a girl or a boy, I just feel like that is wrong for me, right? So I particularly feel like if they are angry about the color as well, it's because of what that pink color was associated with girl and they don't want it. At the end of the day, this whole thing could have not escalated to this point. Let me tell you how the whole thing would have worked. When the father called and was angry and shouted and all of that, they would have calmed the father or tried to even tell them to come to the school or tell the owner to call and apologize, that we're really sorry. We just got a new staff and she doesn't know that she's supposed to call for consent. In fact, we've actually done this to her. She's facing a punishment at this point. There's a way you're going to talk very calm to these parents already, that even when the grandma is already suggesting to go to school to come and confirm, the mom, our daughter, that's the grandma's daughter, that's the mom of the son, might just be like, grandma, is not that deep, don't worry, they've apologized, they said it will never happen again. In fact, we can really see that they're sorry. When somebody is really sorry and know that what they did is wrong and they apologize to you that they did something wrong to, you would know. When somebody is apologizing to you or trying to make it look like, what is your problem? What did I even do self? You would know that apology is not genuine, right? So for the mom to even go there again, that's a grandma to go there again, there's a way they would have actually spoken to her. And this whole thing, she was recording, and this whole thing would have just died down like that. But she went ahead to get very angry because if for you to call somebody an asshole, you're very angry with the fact that she came to talk to you or she was shouting or something. She's allowed to shout, she's allowed to scream. Let her scream. You guys have messed up. You messed up. Accept it. Right? And take it. You know that you can get a lot of insults from it. In fact, a lot of people are going to call you and tell you, don't touch my baby's nails and all of that just because of that sin. And you should know that and you should accept it and just be like, okay, we are sorry. Keep saying you're sorry because you know you fucked up. Because if you had not done that, this whole thing will not have happened. So I feel like this whole thing will not have escalated if they handled it in a right way. But then they handled it in their own way. And I understand the fact that they've been long in the old business. Like one of the owner was saying that she has been doing daycare since 18 years now and all of that. So she kind of felt like she has a good experience. Yes, they might have experience and all of that, but you did a mistake and allow people to react to it the way they want to react. And for that moment, just be saying you're sorry and just be calm about it because you know you messed up. If that makes sense. I feel like this whole thing will not have gotten to this stage, right? What is your take on this video? Kindly share your thought down in the comment section respectfully. As always, Sugar Maria David, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.